You are watching a special presentation from Tinkle Group Gaming. Well, the day has finally arrived. It is Indianapolis 500 Saturday here on Tinkle Group Gaming. Hello guys, I'm Brian here in the booth with you. Welcome to 7-Eleven IndyCar Series race number 7 here today from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Oval for the Tinkle Group Gaming, the third ever Tinkle Group Gaming Indianapolis 500 here, presented by Out of Turn 4. Freddie Soto, he won the pole on Sunday, and he will start from the front. And to his outside will be the number 5 of Samet Ozkan, and Samet Ozkan's been very fast all weekend, so I imagine he will be a big threat in this race to win the greatest spectacle in all of racing. 33 of the world's greatest drivers, 33 teams looking to win the biggest race of the year. Not really focused on the big picture, but of course the one thing that could change the big picture, the overall championship. You know, there are 25 of the 33 here. Or I'm sorry, there are, I'd have to guess, like 19 or 20 here that are battling for the overall championship. So their fate could be decided today. I get it. There's 11 races to go after today. But today could be the real deciding factor in terms of whether or not they can continue to compete for the championship. Maybe it seals or puts the final nail in the coffin. Maybe, just maybe, it gives a team new life. Of course, we will find out which teams will be on which side of that, Trevor's side of that, in just a moment. Let's not delay any further here, as we want to get the greatest spectacle in all of racing started right now. So without further delay, we will be right back here on Tinkle Group Gaming, and when we come back, the starting lineup and the green flag in the third ever Indianapolis 500 here on Tinkle Group Gaming in just a moment. Here we go. The cars are on the back straightaway here at Indianapolis. The starting lineup will be on the left-hand side of your screen. And as we get going, of course, no cars bumped, but I do want to issue an apology. Of course, my apologies for not having any of the practices during the week uploaded. Unfortunately, I just got way too busy to be able to do it. Basketball season, for those who don't know, I do coach basketball. And unfortunately, the season has been kind of off to a shaky start. So I've just not had the time to do the practice sessions. One note, of course, you saw Daniel Voiles. He starts in 10th. He is going to the rear due to an engine change after qualifying. So again, Daniel Voiles will have to come from 33rd if he wants a shot to win the race. Pace car is off. Here we go. We're ready to go racing here in Indianapolis. Freddie Soto, Samet Ozkan, green flag. We're racing at Indianapolis. We mentioned how strong of a car Samet Ozkan has had throughout the whole week here in Indianapolis. And of course, keep in mind, he's one of those guys battling for the overall championship. Every point's going to matter here today, and I said you know, again, big picture, this is a double points race. It is the only one before the championship at Auto Club later this year. So I should have clarified a little bit more on that. But of course, you know, a lot going on again. As Samatoskan will lead the second lap here. Of course, Freddie Soto took the pole in this race, and he took away that opportunity for a full season driver to get those 2 points for getting the pole. And you see early on passing very difficult. We might see a lot of this strategy come on pit road. Again, I'm sure Samet doesn't mind seeing this right now. But someone in the back... Oh, Andrew White's on the pit road. An issue for the 4 team. And an unfortunate start to his Indy 500 here. And it is his first one at that. Something happened in the back to start. It looks like Mitchell Collins is stuck back there. And he lost the draft, as did Karen James. You gotta wonder, did these cars maybe pit and change their strategy? Daniel Voiles, James Qualls also back here. This will hurt their championship odds. Battle for 4th. Now you see the 98 to the outside there, not able to go anywhere. And he'll lose she will lose 2 spots, Jessica Strauss. But again, big picture. Austin Shaw, in the meantime, while we were figuring that out, has gone to 2nd. And now Austin Shaw at the run in turn 4. You can tell in race trim, these guys are not running near as fast as they did in practice. It is a much warmer day here at the Brickyard. Oh, Austin Shaw was right there, but he knew he couldn't run over that 5. Yeah, Andrew White, the only car a lap down, and there is no free pass here. So that'll effectively put an end to Andrew White's Indianapolis 500 campaign. Again, look at all these guys running in a single file line, just trying to stay alive in the early going and not put themselves in a position to go to the back. After today, of course, as we have the battle for the lead, won't happen. But after today, of course, we have 2 more ovals after today. We go straight to Iowa. That'll be on Tuesday. And then, of course, Chicagoland on Friday as they come close to contact again. Samet Ozkan, Austin Shaw. But, of course, Iowa, Chicagoland, 2 of next week's races. And then Sunday, these guys will have their next road course race. That will be at Road America. But our first short track race at Iowa, that should be interesting. And of course, Chicagoland, always an interesting race, whether it's stock cars or open wheel. The now technically abandoned track up there. Of course, it will be a fun one to watch. What is fun to watch is this cat and mouse game between Austin Shaw and Samet Ozkan. Of course, Austin Shaw sitting back there trying to find a way around the 5. Just can't find it right now in the early going. And you can definitely tell a few positions back, that 06 looks really strong in the early going. The Meyer Shank car, and you got to keep an eye on him. JP Morgan might just find his way to the front very soon. And again, Austin Shaw looking just not able to get there. As we ride on board, and we'll show you how you got to put together a lap here at Indianapolis. Tell he's redlining in that 5th gear. He had to lift. He was going to run right over the 5. And right now it's about gap management. You don't want to let that 5 get away. But at the same time, you don't want to be pressed up right on his rear wing. Again, you're only on lap 10, and you got pit stops still to come in this race. But here we go. This could set him up for a good run. If he can get there. Oh, he might just be a little too late. He might have been just a little too late to make that run, but he was right there. And you can take a look out the rear view of the number 5. Oh, they're slowing up. Just look at this long line. We're going to have to show it to you on the back stretch, but this is impressive. It's kind of like Daytona and Talladega. There it is. Look at the long line of 33. Well, 32. There's the other 2. Daniel Voiles, James Qualls. I believe Karen James comes into the picture somewhere. No, there's the 45 of Dave James, another one running for the Oval Championship. There's the 4 in the 55, and then, of course, Mitchell Collins in the number 12. But that is your full 33-car field. All single file, just no battles going on right now. And you gotta wonder for these guys at the back, and again, pit stops are coming later in this race. But for these guys in the back, you gotta be wondering, man, you know, you gotta be getting antsy in a way. Because it's just, you know, the laps are ticking. I mean, there's 13, we're through 13 of 40. Or we're going to be through 13 of 40 this time. We're closing in pretty quick on the halfway mark. You don't want to be that guy that, you know, has to play some strategy on pit road and hope for the best. Now, I get it, tire fall off has not been that bad so far. Again, 201.4 or 201 miles an hour still. Currently, the fastest car is Max Anderson in all of this. But also, if you're Samet Ozkan, you know pit stops are coming up real soon, but could these guys back here, you see Austin Shaw backing out, trying to manage the gap. He's clearly trying to save some fuel. So if I'm Samet, do I want to give up the lead at this point to stretch it just a little longer? Because if you pit before these guys and no one follows, you could be headed backward. A former winner of this race, and I believe he did it on pit strategy, Alexander Rowe in that number 10. And he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to become a two-time Indianapolis 500 winner. Of course, running in 21st right now in that NTT Data Honda for Chip Ganassi Racing. Chip Ganassi's been off to a hot start this year. I'm looking to continue that at the Brickyard. Currently, there's only 2 Team Penske cars in the top 10, and one of them is the rookie Freddie Soto, who has not been in an IndyCar prior to this race, but man, he is making the most of his opportunity in one of the best cars in the field. Oh, he stuck his nose in there. Austin Shaw shuts the door. No one's been able to pass the 5 just yet. We'll see if it happens here on the backstretch. Austin Shaw's got a good run. Here he goes. He's got his nose in there. Battle for the lead. And there we go. It is timed perfectly. And Austin Shaw will take the race lead here in the Indianapolis 500. Samet Ozkan stuck to that outside. You see everybody going to the inside, trying to get by him. They know this is their best chance to gain a position. JP Morgan trying to get into a podium position, and he will do so. Casey Naneko, our only 2-time winner this season, going to try to follow. Just ran his fastest lap that last time by. Man, they're still battling it out for that 4th spot. Man, look at this battle right now. And you see Samet's going to get the draft to the outside. It might just help him keep that position. No, they're still going to battle. He is not going to give it up easy. And there, the battle's over. So Samet Ozkan loses 4 spots as Austin Shaw will go to the race lead of the Indianapolis 500. Here he comes to the pit lane. The 06 is going to stay out. We'll watch as these cars come to the pits for the first time today. Maybe the only time for some of these guys. So you saw JP Morgan stay out. He will lead the race here on lap number 20. But he has no help behind. Meanwhile, behind him, Brad Stover, Brian James, 2 teammates stay out, and they're working together. Again, Dale Coyne Racing, Vassar Sullivan for Brad Stover, Dale Coyne Racing, Rick Ware Racing for Brian James. And you see they will all pit this time, as will Pretty Sean, the number 28, one of the Oval Championship drivers. Austin Shaw wins the race off. His teammate, Casey Naneko, will be second. How about Noah Sewell jumping to third off the pit lane? But again, all eyes going to be on the 06. You saw the 4 Andrew White coming off pit road. These guys are not going to get up to speed in time. See the 48 and the 9 already up to speed down the front stretch. Oh, here comes the 06. He might have a shot of keeping the race lead. Brian James and Brad Stover, though the strategy might get them into the top 10. And there it is. J.P. Morgan will cycle out to the lead, but it won't last for long because these two Ganassi cars are drafting with each other. And they're going to probably make very quick work of J.P. Morgan. Maybe. Here goes the 48 looking. Not going to happen. So J.P. Morgan will cycle out to the race lead. Austin Shaw, who was leading prior to pit stops, he cycles out in second. Casey Naneko in third. Then in fourth, you've got Brad Stover, one of the one-off guys, as is Brian James, two of the one-race contract drivers trying to make the most of this opportunity. Daniel Gittero, one of the other Arrow McLaren Schmidt-Peterson entries, running in sixth. Then in seventh, you got Noah Sewell for Andretti Autosport. In eighth, Freddie Soto, he lost a few spots on the pit lane. Tough break for him, as did Samet Ozkan in the number 5. Unfortunate for that team, who was leading this race at one point. And then Alex Tanker, another one of the full-timers we haven't mentioned much this year, but he's in the top 10 of the Indianapolis 500. So that is your top 10 after that cycle of stops, and you see just how much this field has split. You can tell Austin Shaw's faster than J.P. Morgan, but he can't get around. We are past the halfway point in the Indianapolis 500. I will say this, if nothing else today, Samet Ozkan did lead the most laps in this race. So it's gonna be a good points day, good extra points day for him. Oh, there we go. Will we have the battle for the lead? No. And Austin Shaw just trying to time this perfectly. But again, unlike the first battle, he's got to act with a little less patience this time, because the laps are ticking away. And Austin Shaw loses the second spot to Casey Naneko, who is searching for his third win of the season. J.P. Morgan leads though, and they are catching Mitchell Collins, who's at speed with them. And he could have a real big say in who wins this race, but he is rooting for a caution. I don't think it's any secret him, Karen James, Dave James, they are rooting for a caution right now. That is their only hope of getting back into this race. And at least coming away with some sort of result. So don't expect Mitchell Collins to roll over and give him the lap there. Here comes Naneko. The other thing with that 12 being dead ahead, that could help Casey Naneko, but it can also help J.P. Morgan. because it'll help JP Morgan save up some fuel. Again, when you're leading a pack, you're burning more fuel than the guy behind you. And you see there, they're going to catch him. And just some unfortunate early circumstances are what put Mitchell Collins in this position. We do have a lap traffic moment. And again, I don't expect Mitchell Collins to give up this position without much of a fight. As we complete lap number 28. Oh, Casey Naneko had to back out. For Mitchell, keep in mind, there are no teammates directly behind him. Freddie Soto just fell out of the top 10. So he has no horses in the stable here that he can help out. This is just a matter of him trying to save his chance at a decent finish. And again, he's going to need a caution like right about now to make anything happen. And keep in mind, for those who are watching for the first time this season, first off, welcome. Number two, we do not have overtime in this series. So if we get a caution late, that would normally spur overtime in the Cup or Lyft National Series, we won't have it. We finish in regulation, whether that be under green or under yellow. The one thing with these guys catching Mitchell Collins is it is sure opened up the gap. The lead over fourth place Brad Stover now at 3.5 seconds. It was down to 2 at one point. And these guys are also making up ground on excuse me, the 45 and the 55. Karen James, Dave James. These two normally split that 45 car. But this weekend, of course, Dave James, he runs the ovals, but Karen James running the Indianapolis 500 for her 10th event of the season. Again, the races are split 9 road and street, 9 ovals. And Karen James running this oval only, and then she won't be back in the car until Road America next weekend. Dave James, on the other hand, will run the car all week, as he'll go to Iowa next weekend, or on Tuesday, and then of course he'll go to Chicagoland on Friday. And a whole mess of lapped cars dead ahead there. Mitchell might just try to get around both of them. And these guys might just be content riding right behind them. Try to make it a 3-car battle at the end. Gittero just moved up to 4th. Noah Sewell up to 5th. Brad Stover, you saw there, he dropped down to 6th. But keep in mind, pit strategies we've seen. We could have one more cycle of stops coming our way. And this could open up the door here. Mitchell Collins, he's going to get around Dave James, as will the 06 of JP Morgan. And guess what? Dave James is now going to be a buffer, more than likely, for JP Morgan. That might be checkmate right there. JP Morgan, of course, stayed out longer That's what got him the lead. Surprisingly got him the lead. The 9 and the 48 did the undercut and it didn't pay off. And now you see they're trapped between the 45, or they're trapped behind the 45 rather, as they try to catch JP Morgan to win the Indianapolis 500. Max Anderson, he's been the fastest car today, but he is a lap down in 32nd. That one's shocking. Tough break for the guy who has the fastest car right now. And that probably also goes for the 77, Dylan Ibrahimian, another one in his 10th event of the season. Of course, a road and street only driver. And we're cycling back around. We'll get 4 to go this time at the line. And again, now the question will be, the pit window might just open here. How much longer can these guys go on fuel? And how much have they saved? You see JP Morgan's up to 6th gear now, running behind all these lapped cars, or these tail end lead lap cars. Which is, again, lower, depending on how those gears are set up, lower RPMs, and that can help. Casey Naneko, Austin Shaw, they've gone to 6th gear. Meanwhile, the cars behind, Brad Stover, Noah Sewell, Brian James, or the two in the middle here, have gone to 6th. Brian James and Daniel Gittero have gone to 5th gear because, again, they need the higher RPMs right now. I don't know why. I mean, 6th gear you could also run a little bit quicker. Again, that's just for what it's worth. Because if we go on the cockpit view, actually you see he's not redlining at all. So definitely the gears are set up a little different in that 06. Oh, he's running high. The 9 comes to the pits. And we're coming to 2 to go. There are no cars between Austin Shaw and JP Morgan. And Austin Shaw with the tail end of the draft. If he can just catch JP Morgan at the right spot, he can get right by. No issue. Maybe not. Momentum only carried him so far. Again, he's going to try to back it up. He's going to try to do it again. White flag this time. 1 lap of racing to go at Indy. Presented by Mitchell's Memes. Austin Shaw, JP Morgan, the battle for the Indianapolis 500 between the two full-time drivers of the series. And it's all going to come down to this final lap. JP Morgan with the advantage. He's right there. I just don't think Austin Shaw's going to get there in turns 3 and 4, but he's going to look low. No, he's not going to get there. Through turn 4, JP Morgan becomes our 3rd different Indianapolis 500 winner here today at the Brickyard. JP Morgan showing shades of Helio Castroneves with Meyer Shank Racing. He gets them their first Indianapolis 500. Congratulations to JP Morgan and the team. And he's put his name into the history books. Oh, there's Daniel Voiles. He's trying to finish the race. As are a few others. JP Morgan, that pit strategy, his strategist deserves a pay raise if he hasn't gotten one in a while. Because that was a race-winning strategy right there to stay out that extra lap. And it was a dangerous one, I thought, but clearly the right call here at the Brickyard today. We want to thank you for watching. Again, I apologize for not having these practices up, but unfortunately just didn't have the time to do them. It should not impact the rest of the season. I just want to stress that. But we also want to thank our one-off drivers for being a part of this race, of course. Doors always open. Be sure to join our Discord if you want to continue racing in my series in general. Again, we don't know the status of the Jello Cup Series season number 8 or season number 9 yet, but we'll, of course, have updates soon. If we do one, hopefully you'll be a part of it. But let's show you your results and your standings, and we'll be back for race number 8 at Iowa. Until then, goodbye, everyone.